Now let's come to the function of statistics. So statistics perform various functions. First one is to present facts in defined form. As we can say that statistics represent the things in their true form and with the help of the figures. So without a study of statistics, we can our ideas would be indefined. So the facts which are to be given with the help of statistics are in the defined form. If the statistics results are given in numbers, then they are more conveniencing, and if the results are expressed on the basis of the quality. So the statements like there is a lot of unemployment in India, or population is increasing as fast as uh, the rate if from the previous year, all are in the defined form with the help of statistics. So the statement should be defined like population in 2004 would be 15% more as compared to the population in 2001. So these are the facts which are given by the statistics, which are totally in defined form. As we analyze the data, we interpret the data, and on the basis of the facts and figure, we provide the data. Next point is precision to the fact. So statistics are represent in defined form. So they also help in considering the data into important figures and facts. So statistics basically that method which present meaningful information, or we can say that statistics helps in summarizing or simplifying complex data into a simpler form which can be understandable or which can be used further. So we can say that the data may be presented in the form of the graphs, diagram, pie chart, or we can analyze the data with the help of average, coefficient, correlation, percentage, etc. For example, we cannot know the price position from an individual price of all the goods, but we can know it if we get the index of general level of price. So all these things we can do with the help of the statistics, with the help of the defined data. Now next point is comparison. So after simplifying the data, it can be correlated as well as compared. So the relationship between the two groups is best represented with the help of mathematical quantities like average, coefficient, and the correlation. So comparison is one of the main function of statistics, as the absolute figure convey convey a very less meaning. So if we have to find out the relationship between the two variables, one in the independent variable and the another one is the dependent variable, so we can do it with the help of statistics, with the help of correlation. Now next one is formulation and testing of hypothesis. We have already discussed the concept of the hypothesis earlier. So this is the main function of statistics, to formulate and test the hypothesis. So these statistics methods help to formulate and to test the hypothesis, or to test the new theory. With the help of statistical technique, we can know the effect of imposing tax on the exports, or export of tea, or export of the coffee, or the consumption of the tea on the other countries, or the consumption of the coffee in the other countries. So we can also understand with other example that could be the study whether credit squeeze is effective in checking the inflation or the not. So this is formulation of testing and hypothesis. So with the help of testing of hypothesis, result can be defined very easily. Now next point is forecasting. So statistics is not only concerned with the above functions only, but it also predict the future course of action also, future course of phenomena. We can make future policies, or we can estimate the future with the help of statistics. So we can predict the demand of goods in 2024 if we know the population in 2022. So on the basis of this, the growth of population in past can predict the growth of population in future. So similarly, a businessman also can exploit the market situation in a successful manner with the help of forecasting or with the help of the statistical policies or the formulations. Next one is policy making. So with the help of statistics, we can frame valuable policies. How we can identify that how much food is required to import in 2020-25. It all depend on the food production in 2024 and its demand of food in 2024. So without knowing these facts, we cannot estimate the amount of imports. So on the basis of the forecasting, the government formed the policies about the food grain, about the housing, etc. But if the forecasting is not correct, then the whole setup will be affected. So this is how statistics helps in forecasting. Now next point, it enlarges knowledge. So yes, statistics enlarge your knowledge. While statistics is not a short phenomena, it have a wide scope. Okay, it enlarge the horizon. So when a person get through various procedure of statistics, it widens his knowledge pattern. So it also widen his thinking and reasonable power, and it also help him to reach the rational conclusion. It can be done with the help of data. It can be done with going through various steps to collect the data, to analyze it, to interpret it. Or by following all these steps, a person can reach to a rational conclusion. Okay, so and last function of statistics to measure uncertainty. So as we all know that future is uncertain, but statistics helps the various authorities in all the phenomena of the world to make correct and estimate by taking and analyzing the various data of the parts. So the uncertainty could be addressed or could be decreased with the help of statistics. As we have to make a forecasting, we have also created various trends, behavior of the past, for which we use various techniques like regression, time series analysis, etc. So all with the help of all these techniques, we can measure uncertainty. So this is the function, these are the function of statistics. Now our next topic is data. So data is also a part of statistics, which is used to gather information to convert qualitative data into the quantitative data. Let's first understand the basic concept or basic meaning of statistic data. So basically data is that which refers to the facts, number or information that we collect or we gather. So basically data is like a puzzle that help us to understand the things better. So data can be anything from how many books are in the library or how fast someone run in a race. So data can be anything. So there are different type of data like qualitative data, quantitative data. So what is the basic difference between qualitative data and quantitative data? So basically quantitative data is about numbers, like how many apples are in the basket. That is quantitative data. Now qualitative data. So qualitative data is more about qualities, about characteristics, like how whether people like certain movie, whether he likes certain type of clothes. That is qualitative data. That is not in the term of numbers, but qualitative data is in the form of numbers. So we collect data. Basically, we collect data to learn new things or to solve the problem. So scientists also use data to discover how things work, like studying how plants grow. It also used by business for understanding their customers, like what products people buy the most. Government also use this data to make decisions, like whether to build a road or not. So basically, data can be collected in many ways. It can be collected through survey, through measures, through counting. It can be collected in various ways. So once we have the data, we can analyze it to find the pattern or to find the trend. So understanding data also help us to make decisions, to make choices, and also improve our understanding towards the world. Okay. So basically, we do not generally associate data with mathematics. However, data is the base of all operational activities in statistics. So let us learn more about the collection of the data, which is there are two forms through which we can collect the data: through primary source or through the secondary source. Now let's understand what is data. So data basically defined as a systematic record of a particular quantity. So it is different values of that quantity represented together in a particular set. So it is a collection of facts and figures which is used for a specific purpose. So such as survey or analysis. So basically data is used for survey or the analysis purpose. So when this data is arranged in an organized form, can be called information. So the sources of data, I have already told: primary source and the secondary source, as it is important factor to collect the data. Now, the types of data. So data can be quantitative or it can be qualitative. So there are two types of data: qualitative and quantitative. Let's first understand the qualitative data. We have also discussed it earlier also, but let us once again discuss the qualitative and quantitative data. So qualitative data is represent some characteristics or attributes. So they depict descriptions that may be observed but cannot be computed or calculated. Okay, so they are exploratory or they can be conclusive in nature. Let us take an example. Data attributes such as intelligence, honesty, wisdom, cleanliness, and creative collection. These can be used by the students for their class as a sample, which could be or which would be classified as qualitative data. So basically qualitative data are not in the form of numbers. They are basically what? Qualitative data are not in the numbers. They are about the qualities or about the characteristics. Next one is quantitative data. So quantitative data is about the numbers, like how many apples or how many bananas on a shop. So this is quantitative data. So these can be measures and not simply observed. So that is quantitative data. They can be represented in the form of numbers. They can be calculated and can be performed with the help of numbers. So that is quantitative data. Now let's come to the data collection methods. So basically there are two methods of data collection, primary method and the secondary methods. So depending on the source, it can be classified that data could be collected through the primary source or through the secondary source. Let us understand both of them, primary source and the secondary source. So as we can see in this diagram, the two methods of data collection. If we are collecting data through primary source, then we can collect the data through survey, questionnaire, through interview, through focus group discussion, through statistical method, through polls, through Delphi methods, etc. If we are collecting secondary data, then we can collect from the published articles, published research, newspaper, financial report of any company, sales report from internet, from government report. We can collect it anywhere. So let's discuss this primary and secondary data in detail. What is primary data is? So primary data is that which are collected for the first time by an investigators for a specific purpose. So primary data is a pure data which is not has been collected by anyone. It is original data which is gathered by anyone. So simple example of primary data collection is Census of India. So in every 10 years, Government of India collect the data, Census of India, which is fresh, okay, which is original, which is pure, which is collected for the first time in every 10 years. So that is primary data. Now secondary data. So secondary data is that data which is collected from the different sources, okay, which are not originally collected. So this means that kind of data has already been published by some researcher or by some investigator in the past and is available to published, or it already published by someone. So this information is impure, as statistics operations may have been performed on them already. So that is primary data. So sorry, secondary data. So there are two methods of collecting secondary data: internal source of secondary data and external source of secondary data.